Okay. I don't know if Julie's, she wasn't here last week. I haven't heard from her. Suppose I should check in. So, and Jody's on vacation. So we might all be here. What time is it? It's 1:02. So I'll watch to see if Julie pops in, but we're going to get started. So I do have those of you who have dropped off your pieces. Some of them have been bisque fired, some have not yet. So once they're dry, I will continue getting things fired, so I'll let people know when things are done. And today we are going to do a coiled pitcher. So I'm going to do a share screen. And we'll just look at some coiled pictures. And we kind of checked in, but does anybody want to say anything else besides what we said? We can do that in a minute. We'll just do this.
I've never seen a coiled piece before, I don't think. I probably have, but that's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple ways to do it. Now you see two of me. That's kind of annoying. Okay, there's a couple ways to do it. And we'll talk about that. Let me think. This morning, Larry and I were at Elmcrest Park with 22 children in the, the picnic area doing art. So I'm a little burned out this morning or this afternoon. So see if I fall asleep on you. So coil pitchers. So this one's a little interesting because it's got the kind of the incave on both sides for like the pitcher form. But when doing a coil pitcher, you can make it look like coils. You can keep it looking coily, or you can smooth it out. So that's up to you. Let's see. Why am I not moving? What's going on? Oh, for crying out loud. It's completely frozen on me. Oh, here. I can't do that either. Ah, see? Full moons in 4 days. What is going on? All right. Shoot. I'm going to try to shut down my computer.
Hey, I have a quick question. Sorry.
Okay.
Not all clear glaze?
Yeah.
Those three?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanna
Everything's
make sure.
clear glaze. Yeah.
Except anything that's white
Right.
is not. Okay.
Right. Is there one of those that's completely white? Leave those. I'll take care of it.
Okay,
Do all the other stuff.
I just wanting to try to do the big ones while the glaze is still high.
Let me just do them.
Okay.
Because yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Okay, thanks. Okay, sorry about that. Let's try it again. Okay. We're just gonna, oh, here's Julie. Admit Julie. Hi, Julie. Am I still on with the other? That's it. I lost it. You know what? We're just going to do this old school. And I'm just going to demo. We're going to have to just roll with it today. Julie, how are you? Let's see. See if I can get Julie in here.
Okay, here we go. I got my camera working. Now there we go.
There you go. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Okay, missed you last week.
Yes, my daughter had surgery in the morning, and I thought for sure I'd be home. That was really nice. Yeah, right. Not going to happen. So I missed it, but I made something. So that's great.
There you go. There you go. Okay, well, we're going to talk about coil pitchers, and my my laptop froze up. So we're just gonna, we're just gonna make a pitcher. That's how we're gonna
Right.
do it today. We just have to roll with these things. So what I was saying though, is you can make a coil picture where it looks like coils. So you can keep it looking like coils, and I'll kind of do half and half. Or you can make a picture and smooth it so it doesn't look like coils. And see, I was relying on those pictures because I don't have a picture to show you either. So I'm gonna get you going, and then I'll see if I can get them back up. But I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. So I'm going to switch to my other camera so you can watch me work, and you can work with me or however you want to do it. All right. So when I make something that's a coil piece, I start with the bottom. And once I make that, my bottom, and I make it about, that's probably a little thicker than I want, maybe 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch, yeah. And I'm gonna trim it a little bit because I want it to be a circular one. And you can decide, if you want like a tall, thin one, or a short, fat one, or however you want your shape to be. But the thing about the base, if you start with a really big base, it's going to be hard to kind of control the coil. So I always start with a smaller base. You can always widen it out as you go. All right, and then I'm going to compress it really well.
Angie, about what is the width of that circle?
I'm looking to see where my ruler, the width, like this side?
No, the
Circumference?
Diameter?
diameter. Thank you. That's the word.
No.
3.5.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. And this, you could go a little bit bigger depending on what kind of picture you're looking for. All right, so I got my base. Now for coil making, what I do is I take a good chunk of clay and I start squeezing it in my hands. And I squeeze out the clay before I start rolling it. And I try to keep it consistent. You don't want to do really skinny coils because it'll take you forever and they're not as sturdy. This is a little thick. I'm just gonna once I get it out so it's pretty even by squeezing it, then I roll it. And I roll with my fingers, all of my fingers. I use all of my fingers to do my rolling. And Mary Jo, I'm just gonna mute you. There you go. And then if it gets a weak spot, like let's say I accidentally rolled this a little too thin right here, I'm just gonna break that, line it back up, and roll it again. Now, my hands have made a ton of coils. They kind of know how to do it. It sometimes takes a little practice, but just be patient. So I'm gonna make a few of them. So again, I just take the clay and I start squeezing it out a little bit. And I just kind of keep working it until my hands can't really squeeze it comfortably anymore. And then I'm going to start rolling it up. And it's not going to be completely, perfectly the same all the way through, but that's okay, because if it's going to look like coils, that makes it interesting if there's differences in the coils. Also, if you're smoothing it together, then it doesn't matter. And if it gets uneven as you're going up, you can just add a little coil to fill it in. So I, again, don't kind of worry about those things. So I have a little bit left here. I'm just going to take a little bit, kind of roll that, and then roll it into it. So I'm just gonna, I think I'll roll out one more, and then I'll show you how to start stacking.
So Angie, I had this problem when I was trying to make the handles on my bread pan too.
Uh-huh.
When I roll a coil, I get like a fold in the middle. Is that okay? Can I just leave it if it's, or should I keep trying to roll that out? Like a crease?
Okay, so like a crease like that? Hang on.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's not a
Okay.
big deal. Yeah. You can just, work with it because the clay just, it gets wrinkly and folds over itself. So that's okay. They don't have to be perfectly smooth. I've let go of a lot of stuff the older I get, like, with the whole, it needs to look, absolutely seamless. And a lot of times people, there's a crack or something in it, and so they try to work the crack. Well, the problem is continuously working the crack makes the crack keep going because it's getting dry. And that's what clay does when it gets dry. That's the other thing. So when you're rolling the clay, you see if I'm doing it pretty quick. Now you don't want to make like 10 coils because the clay is going to dry out. So I'm just doing 4 because I can build up pretty quick and I want to show you. But you don't want to like make a ton ahead of time. So just, maybe make 4 and then work on it and then,
Is 4
make
inches
more.
too big?
No, that's
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so now I have my base, so I'm going to scratch. And you can, depending on where you want it, you can put it on top or you can put it on the side. I always put mine on top. And then I'm going to take my coil and I'm going to scratch that. And then, hopefully it fits here. And then I'm going to wrap it around. If it's too big, I'm going to cut some off. If it's too little, then I would just add some clay. And then I'm going to seal that together. I don't kind of continuously wrap and wrap. I do 1 coil at a time. And this got a little thin there, so I'm just going to take a little clay, wrap over it, and smooth it down. Okay. Now, it's very important to smooth this inside. So I take my finger and I seal it to the bottom. The most important sealing happens on the inside of your pitcher. So each time you put a coil on, you're going to seal the seam, as I say, and then we'll discuss the outside in a bit. I just take my finger and smooth that around. Okay. Now, with the first one, it's also really important to seal the bottom to the coil because I have actually lifted up dried pitchers and coil pieces and the bottoms have fallen off. So really take your finger and just smooth that on. Okay. And then I'm going to do some work on the outside because I'm going to flatten mine, or at least half of mine. I'm not going to keep it, so I'll show you. All right. So now I'm going to do the next coil. And because I want it to be a little wider, I'm going to put it outward a little bit. So the way I do that is I'm going to set it so it's kind of on the back side of that coil. So this way it's going to bring it outward a little bit. And so then I'm going to take the coil that's in the inside and smooth upward and kind of accentuating the going out. Now I haven't done anything with the outside yet, and I'm going to wait until I get a couple more coils, and then I'll work on that. So a lot of smoothing, you can use this tool, but I find my fingers are the best tool for some of this, and it's more about smoothing than it is about pinching. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to do another one, and I'll put it maybe this one just a little bit on the outside too. Always scratch and attach. Yeah, that was not long enough. I'll do this one, and then I'll go in with the other one. Okay. And I'm gonna smooth, I always smooth my ends together, and then I'm gonna smooth the inside. Okay, so I'm just smoothing. Sorry, I got lost in thought because when I work with clay, I sometimes go off into thought. So I was somewhere else for just a moment. That's what clay does. That's what all art's supposed to do. Send you somewhere else. All right. So that's what I got so far. And I'm going to keep building up, but I'm going to first talk about the outside. So you can do one of two things. You can smooth those coils. So I'm going to smooth this down a little bit on half of it. So I'll show you what we got going. And I always support on the inside whatever I'm doing on the outside. So have your hand the inside. And this one's sticking up a little bit, so I'm going to smooth it. So I first take the clay and go over that line of the coils. Then I'm going to take my rib and I'm going to hold on the outside again, or on the inside, and I can smooth. So if you want to use the coils to build it up, and then you want a smooth surface, then you can take your rib and do that smoothing. And it's hard to do this, but I want to go down here a minute so I can kind of angle my bottom, soften my bottom a little bit. Now, if you wanted to keep it looking like coils, like on this side, then what you would do is take either your finger or your wooden stick tool or something, and you can just go and smooth those coils together and make a nice clean line. So you can decide if you want it to be a coiled picture, or if you want it to be smoothed picture. And you can just, that looks nice too. You can run your finger on that. And it's okay if it's, if there's a little unevenness, that kind of adds to the look of the picture. You can also, once you get the coils together, if you want to smooth out or thin out your coil a little bit, you can do a little pinching. You just want to be careful that you don't go too thin and that you don't pinch when you're smoothing too much, because then it's not as strong. All right? So that's pretty much how you build your body. So I'm going to roll this one out a little bit more, and then I'll show you how to go on the inside. So if I wanted to bring this in now, then it's the same kind of thing as going outward, but I'm going to put my scratches on the inside of my piece. And then I'm going to put this inward a little bit. And then what I would do is do the inside first, and I'm just going to angle my thumb. So I'm going to seal it, but I'm going to be careful not to push it so I don't lose it going in. So it's kind of very intentional as I sit here and put this in, because I don't want to lose the piece going inward. Oh, I forgot to seal this. That helps so it's not falling apart on me. I'm going to put a little clay over this bit here. And then always make sure you smooth each coil as you go up. I know some of you have probably heard this story before, but when I was young as a teacher, and I'm going to smooth this upward into this too. I used to teach these Halloween classes at the Northern Clay Center. And this guy brought his kid in, and it was for coil pumpkins. So we're making it out of coils, And I said, you need to make your coil, you know, I said probably no thinner than the width of your pinky. And you need to smooth every time you put a coil on. This is how it builds strength in your walls. Well, he made tiny little coils. He built this ginormous, hard to show you, ginormous pumpkin. And then he didn't smooth on the inside. And I went over there a couple of times and said, you know, you really need to smooth the inside as you go. Well, he just wanted a babysitter so he could do this, and I had to manage his unruly child, and they never got to come back to the clay center after that because he got very rude. And he went to cut the face out of the jack-o'-lantern, and because the coils were so skinny, it completely collapsed on him. So, you know, we do know what we're talking about. So anyway, I'm going to hold this and I'm going to...
Did he get mad?
Yes, he got mad and he said he wanted to fix it. And I said, you've already gone 20 minutes over the 3-hour class. And I am going home now. And you are going home now. And you will not be fixing it. I'm sorry. So then he called and complained, but I had already talked to the administration about that. And that's when he was told that him and his son couldn't take classes for a while. Never mind. So there's a point, you know. So yes, at that point I looked like I was 15, but I wasn't 15 and I knew what I was talking about. So anyway, okay. So now I'm just gonna, you guys keep working or start working and ask questions as you go, and I'm gonna keep building this up, and then when I get to the point about handle and the picture part, I'll call you in, you know, and I'll show you. But I have seen some pretty nice looking bread pans and pie plates come in, so that's nice. I kind of did a slow dry on them because I didn't want things to crack.
Angie, they were really fun.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah. You know, I just, you know, I come up with these classes and just because I just want to kind of keep moving people along in their clay growth, you know, inspire people in different ways. I'm going to even my edge out here. Got a little uneven, so I'm just going to add a little coil. So it looks like we're going to have a cool down next week. High on
We're
Monday.
gonna have what?
A cool down. The high on Monday is going to be 73.
Oh yeah, next week's supposed to be like fall, they said.
Yeah,
I can handle it.
just as long as it doesn't go down way too quick, too fast.
It won't.
Sounds wonderful. I love fall.
Yeah. You know, if it was 75 or 73 for 2 months, that would be good.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Good luck.
I know. I really should live in San Diego, even though I don't want to live in California.
Yeah, exactly.
Angie, could you tell me again, I would like to keep mine as showing the coils. How do I attach them but still keep the ribs showing?
Okay, so you want to keep it looking coily, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what you do is when you put the coils together, you can take your wooden stick,
Oh, okay.
blend, go through and blend. That'll help kind of
That's good. Yep.
secure it together.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. So Julie, is your daughter okay?
She is fine. Yes, it went really smooth. And actually, this is her 46th surgery.
Oh,
So
dear.
she did probably the best she ever has. We kind of figured out how to make it so she doesn't wake up really agitated.
Uh-huh.
That was the good news. She did just fine.
All right.
But it always takes long. It's just, they say, oh, we're about ready to discharge. And that means in 2 hours.
Right,
Takes forever, all the paperwork.
right.
And any kind of surgery is stressful for
Oh,
you.
exactly. And especially a kid who has chronic health stuff, she knows what it can feel like. And so she gets so scared, even if it was a simple procedure,
Yeah.
But it's scary for you too.
Oh, I know, it's stress. And I forget that. And then I'm like exhausted for 2 days after. And it's like, that might be,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, and then the one that was dead, there were no guts in it.
Okay, so I'm curious. We have a classroom in the other room. Can you hear them?
Yes,
Okay.
it's not too bad. It's not
No,
bad.
it's not. No.
It's not a bother.
All right. Well, it's a bother to me, so.
Well, I can imagine it would be.
We're still trying to figure all of this out, but I think it'll be less once summer's over.
Sure.
Oh, and there's not so many kids coming in?
Yeah. So it'll be a little less at that point. We're still gonna have, I think, some homeschool classes,
Oh, okay.
but it's not.
Well, they don't have to all go back to school now.
I haven't heard what was the verdict.
Each school district can pretty much do their thing because all school districts are basically different.
Right.
That's a good thing.
It is. You've got farm communities and urban communities, and they all have very different needs. And
way up north communities.
yeah, right. Yeah, I'm glad that's the plan.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be. For some schools, like city schools can need to handle things probably differently than
Right.
rural schools.
Yeah.
Because the whole state is different in different layers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know my sister, she lives in a tiny little town in southern Minnesota, but when she had her boys, the twins, she kind of became a germaphobe. So this is not a good experience for my sister.
No.
And so she's decided that she needs to keep the boys home,
Oh boy.
and which one of them will love and the other one will hate.
How old are they?
They're 8. They'll be 9 in November.
Yeah.
One is more social. The other one doesn't like school. So
They're twins, huh?
they're twins. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. They're identical as well.
Or not.
Well, except in that manner, but
Yeah.
it is hard to tell them apart. You have to spend a lot of time with them. I know Garrett's face is a little thinner than Gavin's face.
Wow.
But they but they love bugs. Like they are like Gavin is got to be an entomologist. He builds habitats for them, and he
Oh,
finds
fun.
food for them, and he takes care of them all summer.
And that doesn't bother your sister.
It did in the beginning. She got really mad at me because I'm the one who encouraged the bug loving because I love bugs. She got really mad at me, but the other day she texted and she says, I remember you telling me and showing me how you could pet bumblebees.
Ah,
So we were by a bunch of flowers and there were all these bumblebees. And so I said, oh, you know how Aunt Angie pets bumblebees? And her husband's like, she does not. You can't pet bumblebees. And so my sister actually showed them how to pet the bumblebees,
oh,
which I was impressed.
that's good.
Now they're all out petting bumblebees.
Call from James.
Hello, Don. Hi, how are you? You're pretty good today.
So, yeah.
My daughter had a betta fish. Last week it died because she was petting it.
Uh-oh.
And I had to tell her, honey, you cannot pet your fish. Try saying that with a serious face. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, she just pet her fish to death. She brought them out. I'm like, honey, I know you love Stella, but you can't take her out. Oh, she's gone.
She needs a pettable animal or a pettable pet. Julie.
She does. She's 2 dogs. We have 2
Oh.
dogs. I know. And she loves them, but she just could not get through her head that that fish did not want to be
Yeah.
petted. You know,
Yeah.
she just thought, I have to show love. That's how I do it.
Yeah.
It was a little scary.
Well, with bumblebees, my rule is once they put their leg up, you stop petting them. Because he's like, stop. So you stop. You respect the
Oh, you're
bumblebee.
kidding.
Yep, they put their leg up.
So cool. This is so cool.
My brother-in-law just called from River Oaks.
Oh, yeah? How's he doing?
He's doing pretty good.
Good.
Of course, he really doesn't call to talk to me.
Ah.
And his brother, my husband Jim, is at his house today
Mm-hmm.
talking to a realtor.
Okay.
So I said, he'll call you back when he gets home.
Yeah.
But I made him a mask. We took him into Peterson's Shoes. You know Peterson's Shoes?
Yeah.
Yep.
And because that's the only place we could find something that was big enough for him. I mean, because his feet are so swollen and everything.
Oh.
Anyway, and he had this cotton mask that was so small for him, and it pulled on his ears, and it just looked so awful and uncomfortable. So at his house, he had a bunch of twins Homer hankies.
Yeah.
And so I made him one that you can see the Homer hanky and just as good as 88 or something like that.
Oh,
Huh.
hey.
And it's all done, and I washed it up and ready to take it to him.
Nice.
I think it was actually 1987.
It was the well,
Years.
anyway,
Right.
the Homer hanky on the Homer hanky itself says as good as 88.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh.
Yeah, 87 was the World Series, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, it's not perfect, but it sure is better than the.
Well, I'm sure it's also fun to wear that then.
I think, yeah. So when we can get it to him, we will.
Yeah.
I told him just now, I made you a mask, but I didn't tell him what it would look like.
Yeah.
Okay, got 2 coils on.
I'm trying to envision how big this is going to get.
Depends on how many coils you put on it.
Large. Okay, so you can, I mean, I want it to be functional, so. I
What,
just-
what kind of stuff do you want to pour into it or pour out of it?
I have not, I don't have a good vision of it, but I'm just thinking like, I don't know, ice water to bring
Yeah.
to the table, something like that, you know, like, so enough, but
Well, I've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coils, and I am about, let me turn it right way, about 5 inches high.
okay.
This would probably do 2 glasses of water.
Yeah,
So
okay,
probably need to go a bit more than this.
okay. Don't
I'm
go
just
too-
gonna make a little shorty.
Okay.
No idea.
They're doing over there.
I'm trying to a little bit right here. So yeah, it was interesting because at the park, we had 22 children, and they all wore masks. Had to be reminded a few times to keep it up, you know.
Yeah.
But these kids have been together a lot, so they don't need to be social distanced, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But I kept thinking, how are they going to do that with schools? I mean, it's just a lot.
I think it's going to be really hard for the teachers,
Yeah.
I feel bad.
especially since some of the kids are going to be going to school and the teacher will be teaching them. And then there's going to be kids who won't want to go, and they're allowed to do that. And
Right.
then they can be allowed to distance, you know, learn.
Mhm.
And so that's good. Isn't that going to be hard on the
You've got to do
teachers?
both. And then teachers have their own kids they have to worry about.
Right.
If they need to do some schooling for them. I just feel terrible for them.
I
Well,
do
and
too.
I think, you know, there's only like 38 days till school starts, and that
Oh.
counts, you know, weekends and
Really?
Labor Day. I don't know how they can get ready to do this
Oh, I don't either.
in 38 days.
I think they might have been thinking about it all summer.
Yeah, I know but the
Yeah.
teachers haven't been there. You know,
Right.
I know a couple of them, and they haven't been in school. They've been, you know, there've been meetings,
Mhm.
but anyway, I just think it's going to be a challenge.
It is.
It
They've
is.
been thinking about it all summer, but they haven't had to deal with it.
Right. Well, and especially if each district, you know, can do their own thing, which I think is, I agree is, well, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Because they are very different. But, you know, well, anyway, the kids need to go back to school. I totally understand that.
Oh, I do too.
You know, their little minds are ripe now.
Yep.
And they need to get back to school. But
And they need the other kids.
right. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of kids that do need that, but I also think there's some kids that actually did a lot better
Yeah.
learning at
Oh,
home where
there's
they
both.
felt safe. Because
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, probably. I'm sure there are.
yeah,
Uh,
so it's very interesting.
Well, you know what? And a lot of businesses discovered that their workers were actually more productive at home than they were in the office.
Yep.
You know, and all the big fears of, oh, we're going to pay people to go home and do laundry, you know, really haven't. I'm sure there is some of that. But
Well,
it hasn't
how
really
hard is
pan-
it to take a 2-minute break to go put your laundry in? I mean, I think.
Well,
oh,
right, exactly. Right.
There's a lot probably more.
And
And
the traffic has been so much better since
Yep.
everybody is not driving. Our environment's gotten better. I mean, there's a lot of pluses to the changes. I hope we keep some that we need to.
Right, I agree.
I love it.
I
But
think
then the
that,
kid,
oh, go
the
ahead.
parents who have to work from home too,
Yeah,
and then also teach their kids,
Yeah.
that's tough.
that's
My
crazy.
daughter said though that she thought the Zoom meetings were more productive
I love them.
than in-face meetings because they didn't have the distractions of chatting all the time. You know,
Ooh.
they had to accomplish.
I know somebody who works high end in a corporation, and he had to travel all the time.
Oh
And
boy.
they realized that they don't have to do that anymore because everybody can meet via Zoom. So he
Right.
didn't have to try to travel
Right.
to Mexico or to China or wherever he needed to travel for his business. He gets to do more of it now just from his office or even at home.
All that time not wasted traveling and money. Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, the environment, we're not sending all those airplanes, people on all those airplanes.
Yeah.
I started homeschooling so I have a 7th, 9th, and 11th grader still.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know. Number 8, 9, 10, and 11. So
Holy cow.
I started homeschooling the 2 little ones in January before I knew this was happening. They just were not doing well in school environment, and so they were just having behavior problems and not learning. And so I really kind of did. I thought I was only going to do it for the half of this, just the end of that year, and then they're going to a new school.
Good luck.
How I'll be doing it more. But we started a restaurant, and that was our whole. Of course, it had to change, but that was our whole. How I was teaching her. She has special needs, but so we had a restaurant, and she learned to cook, and she learned to make a menu, and we decorated it. Now we could make utilitarian pottery. Now that I know that.
There we go.
Yeah, we just did all the thing. Our math was there, our reading was there. She invited people, learned how to send mail. She just needs really practical. Both of them did, and it was really nice. We only had our restaurant open for a couple of days before we had to shut it down. But
What kind of restaurant?
it was so my daughter named it. It was Maisie's Marvelous Munchies. And so we changed the menu, and what we were going to do is one day we had Mexican. So we invited like friends, just a couple of friends each time. But then we learned about Mexico. So, we did some different things to incorporate local studies too. So it was really, it took up a lot of time, but it really was fun. And it doesn't take up any more time. I mean, you can homeschool without sitting somewhere for 6 hours. It got much harder when they had to sit so long for school when it switched over, but yeah, boy, I would get involved in all the classes you guys have if I
Hey,
end up doing any more.
Julie, do you happen to know Deanna Muha? M-U-H-A?
I've seen that name.
Yeah, I bet you have. She
Yeah.
has 10 kids. She has 10 kids.
Okay.
She homeschools, and they just opened a restaurant.
Oh, they did.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, then I need to reconnect. Wow.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, her restaurant is in Lindstrom, Minnesota.
Really? Oh, that's
Yep.
so cool. Ours was just in our house, but hey, that's really neat. I got to check that out. I mean, it was a definite, like making everything practical. They learned so much.
That's really creative.
And she is at the, I would say the last 2 of her girls are probably close to the same age as the one
Okay.
that, yeah.
Oh, good. I'm going to write that down. That would be neat.
Yeah, some of her kids, it's a neighbor. She's a neighbor.
Okay.
And I tell you, her kids, because, if they want spending money, they have to go out and
You gotta
work.
work, right?
And so I've had built-in, I hate to see the last of them grow up.
Yeah,
So I've
you
had
had workers.
built-in workers, it's like, come
Right.
and pull weeds out of the lake for me. Sure, we'll be over
Right.
in 5 minutes. So,
Yeah, right. opportunities there that they help everybody out.
See what your class does, Angie?
Yep,
You just connect people. It is. It's so great. I am
that's what
so
it's all
glad I
about.
found this. I was at a flea market and some lady there, I'm sure she's taken tons of classes, but she told me about Rum River Arts. I didn't even know about it until right before I took your last class, Angie.
Cool.
And I am just like loving this. I was
Awesome.
skeptical about clay because I took a pottery throwing class in college and I had to drop out before I failed. And I was like, I just love this. I don't think I'm going to be throwing pottery on a wheel, but this has just been great. And I've been watercoloring, I'm doing watercolors every day, getting ready to
Cool.
go deeper with that. So I love what you guys do. It's amazing.
Well, we love what we do too.
Yes, it shows.
Yeah.
It shows. I
we've
am
been-
an addict now. Quit my job. I was doing support groups. I'm like, no, I'm doing art.
There you go.
I do art.
Angie,
Yeah.
my clay keeps cracking. Is it possible it's too dry?
Let me see. Can you hold up some?
Well, like there. Yeah.
I love her on the beach.
Um,
Can't see my.
is it really dry when you try to smooth it? You could add a little water if you wanted.
That's what I was wondering. Or should I just put some clay in a bag and put a paper towel in there with some water on it?
Yeah, you could do that too, but you could also, just take a little sponge or a paper towel and put some water on your clay.
Okay. All righty, I'll do that.
Yeah. Maybe just make the coils as you go instead of in advance.
Thanks.
Yeah. Everybody doing okay?
Yeah, I'm having a little trouble getting the outside coils to attach.
Okay, let
No,
me
I-
see. Let's see.
Oh.
Can you show me? Okay, so if you just, if you just take, your stick
Yeah,
or even just a damp finger and
Yeah.
just go in between the coils. It doesn't have to be perfect, but your coils also looked a little thin. Are they really thin?
well, I just measured mine and I have 3 coils on because you said you had 6 and it was 5 inches.
Yep.
I have 3 on and it's 2.5. So probably close to the same
Yeah,
as
you're
yours.
fine. You're fine. Yeah, those are fine coils. Yeah, it just, and just when I do this, it just kind of puts the clay together a little bit.
Okay, I'll
I
try
have
that.
3 coils on and it's only not even 2 inches. So maybe mine are too small.
Maybe.
I know. And they're too
Oh.
big.
Well, the wonderful thing about this is, you guys can work on this however long it takes you once class is done.
Right.
That is the perk of this. One of the perks of this.
Yeah, I really like that because I really, after 2.5 hours, I'm kind of done,
Yeah,
and it's nice to take a break from it and then come back.
yeah. It means that I can do some more challenging projects, because they don't have to be done in a certain amount of time.
Right, right.
So we're going to look at that for the fall,
Good.
for the handbook.
I'm using my cup, Angie.
Oh, it looks great, Cindy.
Oh,
I
that's
like it.
really nice. I want my cup. I want to make a cup. I'm gonna have to make a cup. That looks cool.
Yeah, was that a slab cut cup?
I think so.
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
well, I don't know.
Yes,
We did
it was.
different things. Okay, slab cup, yeah. Yeah,
And
so we have,
it looks all crinkly inside. Like it's
Huh?
like, you know how old wood looks after it's old?
uh-huh.
Ooh.
Well, was it a slab or was it a coil, Cindy?
No, it's not a coil.
Okay.
We did a coil something else. And I left it looking like a coil. Oh, the teapot.
The teapot, that's right.
I like that too.
I want to do that. That sounds fun. Can't wait here to hear what your next class is going to be.
So we have a 8-week class via Zoom starting in September.
Okay.
And it's kind of a beginning class, but
Oh,
Oh, that would be good for me.
right. But many people take it who have taken many times before.
Good.
And so I just kind of do projects that everybody can do, and then people who have done it before can say, yeah, I want to do that, or no, I want to do this today, and they can go off and do that. And I show lots of different ways to make things more complicated. So we do things like we'll start with usually a slab project, like a tile project, and then we do something with a pinch pot, and sometimes combining pinch pots, and we do some molds, do some draping, make dishes by draping clay over different forms, which those turned out pretty cool. I was pretty excited about that.
Neat.
Cindy, you like that, didn't you?
yeah, and I want to do one that I can, because you said the when you dipped it, it didn't quite take in the middle.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So I want to do one
Yeah.
that
Yes.
Hey,
it will.
Angie, do you know if they ever do any, I don't know now during Zoom if it would be possible, but do they ever do any felting classes there?
No, we haven't really gotten into the textile end of things.
I was taking some felting classes through White Bear Center for the
Yep.
Arts, and you guys have a much more robust virtual schedule than they do.
Yeah, so here's what happened. This has been very interesting. When this all happened, Larry kind of felt like we needed to move in this direction. And I think all of us teaching artists went, no. But then we got on board because we did realize that we needed to keep people busy and not going crazy in the world. And
Yeah,
so,
more than ever.
yeah. And so we really are the leading force in this throughout all the art centers.
Yeah.
I agree. I'll bet that's true.
It is true because
I don't doubt it.
we've been on meetings where people are like, we just don't even know how to do this. We're not set up to do this. It's not that hard. You need a laptop. That's all you need.
Right, and you need a laptop, and for people to join, everybody's got some way to get on a Zoom meeting.
Yeah. So I'm on the White Bear Art Center's website, and I kind of was watching them, and I'm just like, oh, come on, guys, come on.
Yeah,
know.
it's a lot of, they're doing a lot of, I don't mean to sound negative, but like more fluffy stuff,
Mhm.
meditation, which is nice,
Mhm.
but I would, meditation is helpful during these times, but
Yeah.
I want to do something,
Right.
I want to do something. So I've really appreciated, it's quite a hike for me to get over to you guys,
Right.
but I don't care.
Well,
What else do I have to do?
All right. You know what the best thing you can do, Mary Jo,
Yeah.
is find different routes.
Yes.
Oh,
'Cause
yes.
going across country in different
Yep.
ways is always fun and interesting for me.
True.
I have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah. In
Where
fact,
do
I
you
got
live, Mary
lost.
Jo?
Pardon?
Where do you live?
I live in Wyoming, Minnesota. Do you know where that is?
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
over
yeah.
by
Oh,
Forest
yeah.
Lake, kind of.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
No, it isn't bad.
Yeah.
In fact, I started working here and I lived in Coon Rapids for 3 years before I moved out here. So I did that trek a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So you know all the different ways to get.
I
One
do,
way.
and it's been fun because I haven't gone on that back road 18 for many, because I've lived here for 20 years now, so I haven't been on that road that much, and it's
Mhm.
boy has it changed.
Mm-hmm.
I missed one of my turns. It looks so different.
Angie, you know what I'd love to have is a glazing class. You know, I don't know if it's corporate one or just even a 1 day kind of thing, just to talk
what?
about glazing.
Oh,
Because
glazing.
I'm just winging it and worried, like I pay it and then hope I'll get something that I like. Is that something you're thinking of doing?
Yeah, hang on a second. You guys, I'm not doing anything, so might as well look at me. Okay, there we go. Okay, so when you're talking about glazing, are you talking about like the underglazes, or do you want to talk about the glazes that we have at the art center, or?
I know nothing about glazes. I just
Okay.
paint on what you give us.
Yeah, okay.
And then I did, so then I'm trying to,
Oh, Julie, you're breaking up. Julie, you froze.
oh,
There you go. You back?
my back.
There we go.
Internet connection is unusable.
Well, you're talking now. I can hear you.
Oh, okay, I'm talking. Well, that's good. Just anything about glazes. I know nothing.
Okay. Well, I can chat a little bit now, but that is a good thing. The thing is that we put the other glazes kind of into retirement while we were doing the Zoom stuff because it's just too hard. But as we go forth, I might talk to Larry about maybe working that back in somehow. But what you have is an underglaze.
Okay.
And so it's like a paint for clay. A lot of it has clay materials in it. So it can be painted on while it's wet. It can be painted on while it's bone dry. It can be painted on when it's in bisque form, which is after the first firing. So it's very versatile that way. And then what I do is I just put a clear glaze on it. What we have in-house when we have classes in the art center is we have, I think, 4, 5, 6, we have 7 dipping glazes. And so this is a whole nother palette, a whole nother ball of wax. But when your pot has been bisqued, so it's been fired once, then you can come and use the glazes to create really fun surfaces.
Okay.
Yeah, but we had to kind of downsize with the Zoom thing.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's
But once
good.
we got back up and running, that is a good idea that if I ran a glazing thing, there's lots of different things that you can do. The other thing when I do the 8-week in the fall, I'll do where you can put the underglaze on and then you can carve away. So you can do sgraffito and make.
Oh, I want to learn that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done a little bit of that, Cindy, but I think maybe I'll do
Yeah, but I've not done it well.
Okay.
So, and Angie, will they be in, first of all, will your pottery class run at the same time as Mary Leah's watercolor class?
Nope.
Nope, different times? Okay, good. And will they be reaching out to us or should I start writing these dates down?
You know what? You go on the website. They should be sending stuff out, but they are up on the website right now.
Oh, all right.
The fall classes are up on the website. I'm writing down Sgraffito project any of the Vitality Arts, we always do them different days so people, if they want to do more than one class, can do that.
Yeah, I've been taking her class too, and that just ended yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I won't be having any showings anytime soon.
It's a learning process, right? Y'all have to.
No, and it's hard for me. It's frustrating for me because my mother was just a phenomenal watercolorer. She was just excellent. And my son is an excellent photographer.
Mhm.
And it's like, well, I guess it really does skip a generation. I don't know.
I
No,
believe we all have some creative talent. We just have to, you know, uncover it. And for me, when I started with clay, it was horrible, lumpy, bumpy, crazy pots. Sometimes I still look at my stuff and go, "Oh, girl, what are you doing?" But it doesn't matter because it's for you to be
Yeah.
expressive.
Yep, and I enjoy it, so I'll keep going.
That's all that matters.
That's the beauty of getting older. I do not care.
Yeah.
I love the
Yeah.
Angie?
Yeah.
That's right.
My question is clay related now here.
Yep.
I'm going to show this to you. I think it's time for me to either go straight up. I don't think I should go out anymore. I keep going out.
Me too.
Oh, no.
Me too.
Yep. Go
Okay.
inward.
Yeah.
Julie, yeah, start going up and in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
See,
think that's the reason
like
it's so
normal.
short.
Gotta make sure you have clay for next week.
Oh,
What are we making?
Yeah,
Well,
what
next
are we
week is
making?
a big project, isn't it?
We're making, well, it doesn't have to be, 6-quart.
Huge.
We're making a covered casserole
Oh, cool.
out of clay. This is what I have to work on this weekend because not sure how that's gonna go. So if you feel, Cindy,
Yes,
That
I'm
is-
listening.
if it's too wide, and you can take and cut a piece of pie out of it and
Oh,
pull it together tighter.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I can do a little quick demo with a pinch pot if you want.
Okay, I still have of the square piece that you gave us.
Yeah.
I still have 3 1/4 inches high, but now I have to cut some more off for this.
Okay. Well, we'll just deal with
So I
it.
still have quite a bit.
Okay. So if you had a piece like this and you wanted to make it a little smaller,
Okay, I can see it.
so I'm just going to take and I'm going to cut, I'll draw it first. Kind of a triangle. You see the triangle?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to cut that. Let me cut that and then I'll show you what to do. Okay, so now I've cut out this bit.
Ooh, that's a big cut.
Yep, and then I just put it together and then I'm going to, you have to change the bottom a bit and just seal it up.
Do you scratch and attach?
You can, probably should, but I didn't. So you
Or
just.
you think I should maybe make this a little, not quite so far fat?
Can you, let me see it again, but pull it back towards you because it's too.
Okay, I'm gonna measure it for you
Okay.
across the top.
Mhm.
Very large picture. Oh boy.
It is 7 inches across.
Oh, yeah, you got to cut some out of there.
Okay.
You're not going to get up very high otherwise. Yeah. I see slab or coils get away from you. That's why I started with like a 3-inch. It was even less than that, wasn't it? Yeah, about a 3-inch bottom.
Well, I just kept making it go out further and further and further.
Yeah. Bring it in. Coils have a mind of their own sometimes, and you got to just, bring them back in.
Rein it in, huh?
Bring it in.
Okay, scratch it.
I will do, Julie, some discussing of different, because with the underglazes, you can also do, really decorative work,
Yeah.
I mean, you could.
Now it's about 6 1/4.
Do some designs. I'd bring it into probably 5
Okay, I'll cut it back out.
or
Oh.
even
I'll take it off. Should I cut it? Because I just already started.
cut it
pushing
in
it
a
together.
different spot. Yeah,
Okay.
but really seal it really well and go over it with the rib.
Oh, rib, I was using this thing.
Oh, that's fine. Just make sure you compress a lot. Like, smooth it together really well.
How, Angie, is yours finished? How tall is it?
Mine's, I'm just doing a short one. Mine's about 5 inches tall. It's not very
Oh,
tall.
that's right. Yep, you said that.
I was just gonna do a short one. And I'm just, because I'm not gonna keep it. I'm just doing it for a demo. So
So what are you gonna do with it when you're done? When you say you're not gonna keep it?
I'll smush it,
Oh. Okay,
reuse the clay. I have so many things.
yeah.
I'm trying to, there's some things.
You
I
could
keep.
sell it, Angie. See, that's the thing.
Well, no, because it's half coiled and half not. And
Okay.
I mean, you know,
Good
but
start.
thank you. What that requires then of me is having to figure out glazing and, you know, I'm kind of, but I did make these fun cardinals for Susan. She wanted cardinals for her sister. So that was fun the other day. I sat
I
outside.
like
You liked what?
your bugs, dragonflies
My dragonflies?
That was
that you
neat.
did for the show.
Yeah, I like those.
Thank you. Yeah.
I didn't buy any because I want to learn to make one. Maybe
Yeah.
I should have bought one so that I could use it for a pattern.
Maybe, I know I said, you said, this Mary Jo, I know you said you guys weren't too much into fabrics or etc.
Right,
But
we get
in the-
off that. Go ahead.
Pardon?
I said we did get off that, but yes, go ahead.
Maybe in the fall, when it gets cold,
Mhm.
think about getting someone to do a knitting class. I'm a crocheter, but I've forgotten how to knit. I would love to take a knitting class.
I can talk to Larry about that. We do have connections with the textile group up here. They always do a show in the gallery. So maybe we can get some textile stuff.
Okay,
going.
now it's 6 inches.
Okay,
that's
does that
better.
feel more doable?
Huh?
Does that feel more doable? How tall did you want yours?
I don't know.
Were you making like a batter bowl or are you making a tall pitcher? Because I still think 6 inches is going to be a hard.
I'm going to make it go straight up from here or
Okay,
start to go in.
all right,
I'm not going to make it any wider.
okay.
I promise.
All right.
Well, we'll see if the clay doesn't get away from me, like you said.
Yeah.
Shape it now.
Oh,
One of my iPads is got the alarm going on.
Uh-huh.
I set it to show my husband that if my brother-in-law would like, because he's got a sore hip, has to take these acetaminophen 3 times a day, and it costs $1,000 extra a month for somebody to come in and deliver those
Meds.
What?
Yes.
$1,000
Yes.
for what?
Because
2
it's 3
seconds?
times a day. Just think of it. 3 times a day times 30 days is
Oh.
90 times, so it's $3 a shot.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
So he knows what's going on, and I said to Jim, I said, don't you think if he had an alarm and he could keep it plugged in all the time so he doesn't have to worry about it, you know, the battery going down, and take his own stupid pill.
Well, especially acetaminophen, you know, it's
Exactly.
as long as it's not a narcotic or something. Where you
No,
might
it's not a
overdose.
narcotic.
Yeah.
Acetaminophen.
Is he in like senior housing or something?
River Oaks in Anoka.
What is that?
It's a senior place, assisted living, and
Oh,
then they can go on from there to have more and more care if they need.
yeah. Yeah. My mom was in one of those in St. Cloud. She lived to be 97,
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Wow.
and she was still in senior housing. She
Oh.
didn't go into assisted living.
Unreal.
Yeah,
Wow.
she probably should have. But she, because she was still mentally very sharp. She, in fact, speaking of her watercolors, I just found one of hers that she did like 2 years before she died.
Oh,
And it's,
wow.
and it's gorgeous. I had it framed. It's beautiful.
Wow.
Very cool.
She was still day trading using her computer. She was day trading on the stock market until she was 90. Yeah, until she was
I don't even know what
95.
that means. Wow.
Yeah,
That is cool. Wow.
Yeah.
That's longevity.
played bridge 4 times a week. Smart cookie.
Awesome.
That is amazing.
I was in a couples bridge group one time when we lived in Illinois. And the bridge group for me was just a place for visiting.
Yeah,
And oh boy, there's some really, bridge
very
group, oh
serious.
my
Yeah, I
Oh,
play
yeah.
bridge too, and I'm in 2 different groups, and they are polar opposites. One is, I mean, if we get 8 hands in, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And the other one is they're dead serious.
Oh,
They
my.
are dead serious about this.
Well, I thought it was fun to visit with people, and then we always took food. I mean,
Right.
it's more fun than that.
Right.
And one fella just could not, he had me as a partner one time. Oh, that was a disaster for him.
Sounds kind of
Well,
fun.
my brother is a master bridge player, so like
Oh,
he earned
wow.
master points. So this other, I play with my brother and his wife and someone else that I know. She and I are partners, and I drive all 3 of them absolutely crazy. And
Is
it's
that
not,
Rose talking?
it's Mary Jo.
Okay.
Yeah, I drive them crazy because, not because I talk, but because I'm such a crappy player.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
and they're so good.
And Jim doesn't like to play because he gets himself competitive and he doesn't want to be.
Yeah. That's
He
why,
doesn't want that. He wants
Well,
it to be fun, and it's not
Yeah.
fun for him because he gets competitive.
and that's part of my problem is I'm not very competitive.
I'm not either.
Either.
Don't get better. You know, I don't, because I just don't care.
Right. Exactly. I tried to
More
do
fun to
bunco.
visit.
Ever played bunco? Oh my goodness. I'm like, that one was just like, I'm like, why are we doing this? I want to be I'll sit here and create something with you.
Yeah, I
Even
tried
but-
bunco with the neighbors and I thought, this is pretty mindless.
It was way too mindless for me. I just thought we could be sitting here, and at that time it was scrapbooking or whatever, you know. I'm like, we could
Yeah.
be creating. I like to leave with something. Yeah.
yeah. I remember when I was growing up, my mom and dad would get together with some different friends and they played something called Rook.
Oh, yeah.
That's complex, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fun. I grew up in a game playing family. We played a lot of cards, lots of games.
Fun.
Yep, we did too.
I wish we did.
Yeah. My son loves games and he loves Goodwill. And so and he has autism and he wants to go like once a week to get a new game. So he's waiting for me to finish so we can play the new game.
Much better than video games.
I know. I will do it. I will go there anytime. I have like 9 versions of Monopoly here, but it's better than video games. Exactly.
Yeah, my son loved Monopoly so much. I had, when we moved to this house, he had his own bathroom downstairs. And I bought all Monopoly themed, you know, the shower curtain and the towels and.
We did a Scrabble one like that too because of our.
What do you
Game-
mean Monopoly with a shower curtain?
Well, it was a,
I'm
you know,
sorry,
I decorated his bathroom with Monopoly stuff.
Oh,
I found a Monopoly shower curtain and Monopoly towels and
Oh, for fun.
yeah, it was cute.
We were on a trip out west and I found I think it's Monopoly Parks or something like that. Or Monopoly United States or something.
Yeah.
Oh, Angie, I'm finally getting better at connecting these by doing exactly what you told me to do a half an hour ago.
We just listened to Angie.
So at 2:30, I'm gonna call you together and I'm gonna show you how to do a spout and a handle.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter if you're, ready for it or not, but, I'll just show you, just so I make sure I have enough time. And you can also like decorate the outside with clay decorations, like flowers or something, or paint
Oh,
That's
paint fun stuff on it.
I like to paint stuff on it.
Let me see if I can.
This is so bad. I might be smashing this one.
And finally getting some height because of putting it straight up.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to hold this up and then maybe you guys can see these images.
Oh, isn't that cute?
neat.
You see that?
That is very cute.
Okay, so this is a coiled one and then they put little clay bees on it.
Oh my goodness.
So that's something to think about. This one was just kind of a tall blue
Ooh.
one.
That's coil?
That's coil that's been smoothed.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we'll go
Well,
back.
I'm
this way.
trying to do that because anything else I did with coil, it's always coil. So I'm trying to see if I can make it smooth.
And then this one's got a big belly and then got in really far and then went up.
Well, that's fun.
So, if you can
That's
decide
really
the shape.
cool.
Yeah. And then this one's got kind of a funky handle.
Let's see.
Oh, kind of.
That's
Wow, that is cool.
So you can think of, different ways to create a handle besides just the strap handle. You can try some creative stuff. So that was some of the things that I put together.
You did those?
No, I didn't do those. I just made a slideshow of them to show you.
Okay.
Let's see. I put this in my, but I wanted to find. So I pulled up this picture, which it's got like decorated leaves on it
Uh-huh.
Oh, pretty.
and acorns. And so they took like a tree bark and pushed in to give it some texture. So I'm just trying to find some inspirations.
That's what we need.
Mhm.
Inspiration.
Now I'm way more excited about it. I have possibilities. Make it into a beehive.
So this is an antique, but it's got a woodpecker put on it.
Oh.
So
And then the handle creates a bark on the
yeah,
round.
like a tree stick.
woodpecker.
Yeah.
That's cute.
So you can think about how you want to decorate the outside, and it could be by adding, some clay design on it. So this one's kind of crazy. Just in case you want to go overboard,
Oh, funny.
here's some apples.
Oh.
They're
We're using up
3-dimensional.
all our clay.
Yeah, you'd be using up all your clay. Okay. But then I was thinking just kind of some painterly stuff.
It's gonna be the happiest.
So if you just want to decorate painting wise, here's like a sunflower
I like sunflowers.
that's just been painted on. So, you could just do a design as well. All of this is making me remember. So yesterday my mom called me and she told me that my great-grandmother's house in Maplewood, Minnesota is for sale. So she said, look up this house. I had never been in it. She had sold the house before I was around. She lived until I think I was like 15 years old, so I did know her very well. She lived with my grandma and lived with us for a time. And
So is this your great grandmother?
this was my great-grandmother.
Okay.
So I looked up her house, and it's on 2 acres in Maplewood, Minnesota, and it's just off of C, so it's off of, like, I think maybe a block off of Beam, which is where the hospital is, and Maplewood Mall and all of that.
Okay.
And it's over $500,000 for this 3-bedroom, 1 and 3/4 bath house, which I thought was insane.
The land, probably, right?
Location, location, location.
Oh yeah, but who wants to live by Maplewood Mall? So,
It's free.
but my mom said take special note of the stove. It has the original stove in this 1920, old farmhouse, because it was a farmhouse, and it was amazing. Because it's like I'm of the mindset that if you have an old appliance, don't get rid of it. It's going to last a lot longer than anything new that you could possibly get. So, as I'm looking at all these antiques, but here, this is a very painterly picture. The one on the larger one. So you could do all kinds of, decorating.
Where's this book from?
The picture,
Where's all these pictures from?
my computer. I just
I knew
what I
that.
put in was Myalica design picture. Myalica is a kind of a painting, glazing technique.
Okay, I don't have a pen. Oh well.
Okay. I can email it to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Um,
Okay, I made it 5 inches. I
okay,
just took out another section.
good.
We're supposed to have beautiful weather all day until Saturday,
Yep.
and I've got reservations for to eat outside at a restaurant on Saturday.
Huh.
And that's when it's supposed to rain.
I heard 20% chance.
Oh,
Yeah,
I like that. That's better.
I have 5 people coming to my house for outside lunch on Saturday.
Well, it's supposed to be fine until later in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You'll be
hoping.
fine. This is for our anniversary.
Oh, happy anniversary.
Thank you.
How y'all doing?
I'm wrapping up my item. I'm gonna watch you make the photo. I have some yard work that has to get done today.
Gotcha. Okay, is everybody at a good stopping point?
I am.
All right, I'm gonna switch the video. Let's see, I'm there, so I gotta go up here. Okay, so for the picture, what I realized is I was having it, for me, if I'm making a picture, it naturally somehow comes to being. So this is down a little bit and it's a little lower. So what I do is I take water and I hold where I'm going to put it and I start kind of formulating it by moving the clay with a wet finger back and forth. So I get where my picture is going to go. And then I'm going to actually just kind of thin it out a little bit. And I'm going to shape the clay going down. So you want to think about water pouring out of this. So you don't want it to be just, you know, the same level as the wall or the rim. You really want to angle it down a little bit so there's a nice flow. And then I just take with a wet finger and go back and forth a little bit to make a nice flow stream. So I look at it when I'm going to pour this out. This is a little, you can't see this, this is a little bit up more. So I'm going to angle it so it's a nice flow. So you want to think about how's the water going to flow. And then I just make this come down a little bit. And give it a little angle. And you can shape this however you want. If it pulls it out of shape, you can put it back, or you can have it be more oblong down the top, you know, whatever works. But I'm just gonna, so that's, see if you can see the logo. Kind of how you do that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then for a handle, and I'm just gonna make a simple handle. I look at my pot, and so as I'm looking at this, I just want something that can kind of go here. I don't want it really far out, you know, but I think I want it to be from this point to this point. So you can sometimes use your fingers or, you know, just kind of measure it out. Realizing that the clay is going to shrink, you know, about 18%. And you don't want the handle to be any thicker than your coils on your pitcher, but you also don't want it to be super thin, all right? You want it to, a few of you have taken classes before, so you want it to really start looking at how it looks. Is it aesthetically appealing? You know, start kind of analyzing. And if I, you know, when I made mugs, when I threw mugs at a studio, I would throw my mugs. The next day I would come in and I would pull or create twice as many handles as I needed for my mugs. And then I'd let them firm up while I was trimming or cleaning up my mugs. And then, so that's too big for me. And then I would, you know, I had more than I needed, so hopefully I'd have ones that would fit really well together. You know, so those are things to think about. So you can make a couple different handles, and I'll show you another way to make a handle. That's too big. But I just play with it until I like how it fits and how it looks. And I think about how I'm going to attach it. So I kind of keep going, and I still think that's a little too big. I might roll it just a little bit thinner. So, you know, maybe make 3 handles and try them on and see which one looks the best. Pretty good. So that's what I'm thinking. But I'm going to show you another handle, just so you have an idea. I'll do a strap handle, which is also based from a coil. So for a strap handle, I still make a coil and then I flatten it by pounding it a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my rib, do a little compressing. I like to angle cut a lot when I put my handles on. Angle cut that, and then I'm going to look down here. And I'm going to, so it's really, looking at it, seeing what looks aesthetically pleasing, but also what's going to feel good in your hand. And so then there's my
Oh, that's pretty.
my slab one, or my strap one, whoops. And then there's my coil one, and to be quite honest, I'm going to go with the strap one, okay, because I liked that. So I always like there to be more clay when I'm sealing it on. So I widen my connecting points, and then I'm going to scratch. And then make sure you line it up from your spout,
Yeah.
because, otherwise you're going to have a twisted handle. Line it up, decide where you're going to put your scratches. Make sure you're on the mark here. And then I push it on really well. I'm going to take and I'm going to push it on really well down here. Smooth it on here. And then in this crack here, that connection there and the connection in here, I'm going to add a tiny little coil. And I just take and put a coil in there, and I take my wooden stick tool and just blend it in. I blend it so you can't see it, I really blend it in, but I just want it, that will help keep the handle on really well, because it's hanging out in the air and it's going to dry before anything else. So it's good to just make sure wherever there's a connection point with handles and things. And then I would, like everything else, let it dry slowly under some plastic. When I made all my mugs, I would, cover them back up for a day just to let everything slowly dry.
Before you put your handle on.
No.
Oh,
After I put my handle on. Once everything was put on, then I would just slowly dry everything. Well, I would throw the mugs, so then they would firm up a day. Then I'd put the handles on. Then I'd firm them up another day under plastic. That makes sense.
Yep.
So that's how you do a spout and handle. And one other thing you could do is you could find a texture tool. And at the bottom of your handle, put a couple little texture things, just a little something aesthetic. I don't know if I like that, but you can do that. So, just some ideas. All right. Any questions with all of that?
Oh, I was unmuted the whole time. No,
Oh.
it's Mary Jo. Looks
Yeah.
good. That's very, I will hope to have mine look remotely like that.
Good. I'm sure it'll be great. We're our own worst critics,
Well, maybe.
We are. Yeah.
I was telling a friend of mine about my bread pan,
Uh-huh.
and because I think it's pretty funny, my bread pan.
Okay.
And she said, well, so why don't you, she said, are they going to show your bread pan? I said, I think she is taking pictures of them. She said, well, why don't you make fun of it before anyone else? And put all kinds of COVID stuff inside it, like a mask and hand sanitizer and
Oh.
Say this is just another fallout from 2020.
Oh, I don't think it's gonna be that bad.
Well.
It's your first creation, you know?
Oh,
True, true.
You know, those first ones have to be lumpy and bumpy and all that stuff.
What would you do? How can you advance if you do it perfect the first time?
Well, true. Good thing I have a lot of room.
That's my only reason for thinking I can maybe improve.
Oh, look at your first teapots.
I don't have to because they're in Ohio.
I know, but you know what they look like. Look at your first teapots compared to your last teapot. I think there was.
You know, I've been
about.
using it, Angie,
I know.
and I like it.
Yeah.
And I've got bees on mine,
Mm-hmm.
and I put the bee on the lid.
Yep.
Do you remember we did some I don't know, box or something,
Yep.
and you had us put little dots so that they lined up
Yes.
the lid, and so that's the reason the bee is where it is. It lines up to the handle.
Oh, that's awesome. Good thinking.
So did you make the pottery bees or did you paint bees?
Pottery bees.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you just kind of keep at it, and it also helped to make that at home, didn't it? You had more time.
Oh, it was so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, no matter
Well,
what I
Angie,
do, it's
Yeah.
Angie, I'm thinking I'm gonna head out and get my yard going before
Okay.
I have a code names game tonight at 5.
All right.
So,
what kind of
yeah.
games?
It's called Code Names. You can play it online. It's very fun. Very, very fun. It's a good thinking game. You have to have at least.
I wouldn't have
played
been
it.
good at it.
Angie, you're nodding. Have you played it?
No.
Oh, it's a good thinking game. You have to have at least 4 people.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, have fun.
I will.
fun.
We always do.
Good.
All right. Well, I will
See you
see
tomorrow.
you next week, and I'll work on this in between.
Okay.
Same time, same station.
Yep. Thanks, Angie. Bye, bye,
Yeah,
you
you're
guys.
welcome.
hey.
Bye-bye. So Rose, how's yours coming?
I had to put the clay in a bag with the paper towel because it was just so dry.
Okay.
How long would you suggest leaving it in there?
It's just as, you know, I mean, you can touch it and see, you know, when it's workable for you. That's the best way to tell. You know, if you decide to leave it overnight, it should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I made a clay cat in high school.
Yeah.
It was about 2.5 feet high, and about 6 inches wide, and then I put a tail on it using the coil method.
Yeah.
So I
Cool.
shouldn't have a problem once I get my clay softened up.
Yeah. Yeah. If you need to squirt it a little bit, you know, and just then wedge it together, or, you know, squish it together, that will.
You made what with a tail in high school?
Pottery cat.
Pet?
A
Cat.
Kitten cat.
I just kept making a coil, and then I made him into a neck, and then I made a head and put a tail on it and ears.
That's cool. So you got the coil thing down.
I think so.
All right.
Oh my goodness. Mine is funny.
And Julie, how's yours coming along?
Well, it's, I think it's kind of a funny shape, but
Okay.
it's kind of there and there it is.
Oh, cool.
I can't see it.
Can you see it? I know I've got such terrible light in here.
Oh, it looks good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now I'm going to think like, what is it, you know, decorate it based on how it looks. Like, is it a beehive? Is it, you know, so I got to think. I got to let it speak to me now.
There you go.
See what I create.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's you know, I mean, art is intuitional, you know.
Is.
Like I sit down You know, I might not create for a couple of days, and then something inspires me or annoys me in the world, and I have to go out and do something. I made a pretty intense painting the other day with oil pastels about the world.
Oh,
So,
done one of those.
but that's how I heal and get my anger and frustration out. Just kind of.
When I paint, I try to do things that calm me instead of.
And I'm more.
I've drawn a couple the people that we're getting the puppy from.
Yeah.
She sends pictures every week.
Oh, cute.
And so I drew a couple of the puppies and I'm going to paint them.
Oh, neat.
And so
So
that
yeah.
makes me happy.
So you're up for a puppy, huh?
Yeah. Didn't I show you the puppies when I was there?
No, I know, but boy, puppy training is
Pain.
Yeah.
a lot of work.
This will be our 7th dog.
Okay. Then you're
But we
probably
haven't
good with
had
it.
one for 12 years.
Wow.
What kind are you getting?
It's going to be a red and white Irish setter.
Ooh, beautiful.
And I think it's going to be a girl. I think we've decided we're going to do a girl. And I just can't call dogs bitches, girl. I don't know.
Nah.
No, they're girls.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of them she named, right now they're calling Crown. And so she puts it on Facebook. So I said, well, does that mean she's a little princess? And she said, well, they're all the girls are princesses.
Oh.
And she said it's because the red encircles the top of the head with the white before it comes down instead of opening up. So that was cute of her.
That's
They're
neat.
all princesses.
Yeah. My brother had an Irish setter named Sundance, and I always liked that because it was just perfect for her coloring. You know? Sundance.
We had Irish setters. The first one was Shannon,
Oh,
and the second one was Trolley, and then we had Topper, and then we had Riley, and then we had Whiskey.
oh, neat.
And then the other dog that we had, she was Dalmatian.
Oh, wow. That's what I like. Angie, I just had a quick question. If we, can you like purchase clay and then pay to like have it fired
Yes.
with you guys? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
Well, let me double check on that.
Okay.
Because we have open studio.
Oh, okay.
So let me double check with Larry. I can't remember.
Sure.
I know if you're in a class, sometimes if you make extra than what we're doing. So let me just double check how
Okay.
we're running that right now. Everything's so
Yeah.
Crazy.
going with the flow of everything, you know. It changes every day.
Yeah.
I'm a person who, it takes a while for me to get on board with things, and I feel like every day there's something new I have to get on board with.
Yeah.
You think you got it, and then all of a sudden, oh, gotta do it this way.
Uh-huh.
But look how good that is for your mind.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've stopped watching the news again. I didn't used to watch the news. I'd get little blurbs here and there, but and then when the pandemic started, I felt like we needed to know what was going on. So I watched the news for an hour every night, and I became very anxious. Like my anxiety level hit the roof. Like I would literally could feel myself quivering with some of these news stories, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. You know, we're just, you know, we will know what we need to know, and I just can't know everything. So I pulled it back again. That's been better.
I watch too much news.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, everybody's got to do what they need to do for themselves, you know. One day we sat outside and just watched the birds, and we had these sweet little goldfinches flying around, and then we had grosbeak and nuthatches and all these woodpeckers, and then all of a sudden a hawk flew through, and everybody went, "Meow, meow, 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 meow." It was pretty crazy, and I'm like, well, see, that's kind of like the news. Darn hawk. But
We've got a couple pair of hummingbirds out back.
oh, cool.
And the squirrels get at their little, you know, the water things, the
Mhm.
water feeders. We've had to buy 3 extras just
Wow.
to
Oh,
counteract the squirrels.
stinkers.
Oh, this is getting really wonky.
I can't see.
You don't want to.
It looks like you're gonna have a batter bowl.
Well, maybe that's what it should be. Oh, you know what? It could be a batter bowl with a handle.
Right.
Oh, you're so clever.
Oh, God.
I've got my mother-in-law's batter bowl,
Yes.
and it's one of my favorite things. And if it ever broke, I'd be so unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
But I use it all the time. I love it,
Yep.
Wow.
I like mine too.
and it's green. I don't know, green something, whatever kind of stuff it is.
Mm-hmm.
So that side could be the spout, couldn't it?
Yep.
Okay, that's high enough then, isn't it?
Probably. Think about whatever you mix in your batter bowl. Remember, it's going to shrink 18%.
I better make another tier. Yeah, I thought my teapot was going to be really big because it was way bigger than the other teapot that I had, you know,
Yeah.
and it's way smaller. So,
They shrink. They shrink.
well, that's the reason I made it bigger.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
Yeah, I think it turned out really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I tried to make the fruit inside the pie plate like it's like that's stuff we might put in a pie. What I painted.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it after it gets all fired and everything, if it'll even look like that, but who knows? But you said you showed a picture with the flowers going around inside.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, why don't I do fruit?
Yeah. Yeah, the personalization of them, you know, with the paint and whatever, that's always fun too, you know. It's a whole nother art form, painting on pottery.
Well, since we can't dip them, you know, like other times,
Mm-hmm.
we have to do something, right?
Yeah. And that's why in the last 8-week class, I showed the decorative stuff. And people are like, oh, that's too much. Oh, I'm like, okay.
What do you mean, the last 8-week class?
The one during the pandemic, when it first started. I think it might have been a day you might have missed.
Oh,
But
okay.
it was the day, yes, you did miss it, because it was the day with the molds. That when we did the molds, the draping. And
Oh.
and
Oh,
I
okay.
showed all these images of very painterly, like flowers and just all kinds of images, because I wanted to inspire people. Oh, you can do it, you know, because I thought, oh, you have more time, you can do all this painting, and oh, they don't like that.
That was, yeah, when I had, I don't know what it was. Had something.
Yeah.
Something going on.
That's okay. I'll still show those things because the next batch might like it. Never know. So anybody have any, Rose, what are you doing this weekend?
Well, just my same old stuff.
Yeah.
Dean and I usually spend Sunday going for a drive and going out to eat. Maybe.
Cool.
How about you?
I have a mural I have to finish, so I'm gonna work on that here. And otherwise, I just kind of like days of puttering at home. I'm gonna do that.
Well, I'm
Like-
gonna make another pie cut and make it narrower again.
Cool. I think my friend gave me some, she went cherry picking up in Door County.
Oh,
And I don't want to make jam. So she said you could make crisp. So I'm going to make cherry crisp. I've never done that before.
that'll be fun.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. I'm trying to give up desserts. It's not working. So,
We're gonna, Friday night, I guess that's tomorrow, isn't it?
yeah.
We're gonna have some friends over that we've been seeing them all the way through this pandemic, so it's okay. Anyway, we have pizza. She called yesterday, they had to put their dog down
Mhm.
2 days ago. And we dog sat that dog all the time.
Oh,
It
that's too
was
bad.
a Nova Scotia duck tolling retriever.
Hmm.
And if you've ever seen that breed, just even pictures of it, they're so pretty. And she was like gorgeous. And we had no idea that this was going to happen. And she cried a lot. And so I thought, oh, gotta get her over here and have some food.
Yeah. Food's healing.
We all know what it's like to lose a dog or something. At least most of us do, don't we?
Yep. I went through my first one a couple years ago.
Oh,
It's horrendous. I literally had to have my mom come stay with her and babysitter when I had to go out, and I literally just laid on the floor with her until she.
yes.
Oh,
Well, that's the reason we haven't had a dog for 12 years,
Yeah.
because we just couldn't take it. And this spring I said to Jim, I said, well, if you think you want another dog, okay. The next day he was online looking for Irish setter breeders. So that's that.
Well, the breeder's the only way to go right now, because apparently everybody wants a dog because they're home and they can
yeah.
get dogs, and their
What-
dogs are
If
out.
people, you know what people can do? There's this thing, secondhand hounds.
Mhm.
And my daughter put their name, they tried really hard to get a dog. And they ended up saying they would foster a dog. Next
Ah,
thing you know, they were going to foster this dog, but then they just got to have it.
Oh, nice.
And so that can be a way to get it.
yeah.
And to know it's something that works with your family too.
Exactly.
That's nice.
That's, but it's nice to know that, there's a shortage of dogs in the pound
That's
or
true.
the Humane Society.
Right.
That's good.
Well, a lot of them are coming up from the south.
Yeah. Cranky was a southern dog. He's from Mississippi.
Yeah, a lot. The people down there don't care about their dogs like we do.
No.
So they bring them up here and somebody will have them.
We were playing drums outside last night, and I
Oh,
got
for
Frankie
fun.
finally. He for like, I don't know, for like 4 or 5 months he was really singing, or like when he was getting excited, and then he stopped again. But with the
Oh.
drumming, I got him to do some humming with us. It was really cute.
Oh,
I need to take pictures. Little video.
yes. Can you put it
Crazy
on
dog.
Facebook? Can you put it on an email and show all of us or something?
If I capture him, I will.
Okay.
All right, we got a couple more minutes. So do you have any questions? Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what you come up with.
When will our things be ready to pick up again?
It depends on when you dropped them off. I'm putting some
Dropped
into.
the last one off last Friday.
Okay, I'm putting some into the glaze kiln, but not all of them were dry enough when I bisked the other day. So they'll go into the next bisque. So it's just, I don't know. I'll let you know. I'll
Okay.
take pictures of the ones that are finished and show them next week if my computer will work. And if those are yours, then you can pick them up.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, you all have a great weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay.
Enjoy your drumming and everything. And
Cool.
Thank you.
okay, bye everybody. I'm gonna wave.
Bye. We'll see you later.
See you later.